Hello world! Wave Time here, bringing to you another episode of EEPower. Now, before you ask, I am feeling a lot better actually. Thanks for asking. Well, you didn't ask because I said before you ask. Anyways, so you're probably wondering what the heck this is. And basically someone earlier in the day said that, well, the way I was doing the collector thing was way too overcomplicated. Now, they were saying that the engines cause much more lag than a timer, and a timer can be used for multiple things, especially when it doesn't make the ticking sound, it doesn't make as much lag. Now, speaking of lag, I seem to be having a bit of more of it than normal today, though that could probably be due to other circumstances, such as having this window open that probably won't need to be there. But I can worry about that if it's becoming a major headache. Anyways, getting a few more alchemical chests for future uses. I think I might need to turn this rig around at some point, but I think I've got everything. In this way, I can have it so that I can... Let's see. Is there a way to show this without being annoying? Let's try just taking all the gold and the iron out and showing you by asking for 8 iron that this works. Now, obviously, I may have messed some things up, so let's see. So diamond goes in there, gets converted, 1 of it goes, and everything is jolly and merry, and it seems like we got all 8. Okay, and the excess gold should go into this chest. Now there is a bunch of junk in here that will need to move from the trunk, so we're going to have to eventually do that in other sorting systems. Maybe get rid of a bunch of all of this. A bunch of all this. You are a poet, Way. You are like that. Anyways, let's turn that off and look at some things that we may need. What I think we should do is go a bit nuclear today and attempt to make a bunch of this stuff. I think we can make a generator easily, but the reactor chambers are something that I am not sure of. We can make a few of those, so let's try to put that stuff in our crafting area since we don't have anything else to do at this moment. We're going to need to get 4 something. I am losing my touch, aren't I? You've never had a touch, Way. You are a zombie. Anyways, I should turn this back on so that we don't kill ourselves. We got a bit of iron, so we can go in here. We're going to need to get one of those plates. I hope I have enough materials. It might take a hell of a long time, but it will start working. So we don't confuse ourselves, let's get that and check the next thing that we'll need. Machine blocks are obvious, but we're going to need integrated heat dispensers, which will require integrated reactor chambers and coolant cells. So let's order 2 coolant cells also. Probably a much easier way to complete this. 2 coolant cells. We're going to need one of these also. So get that. Hopefully everything is getting crafted in the desired proportions. That is going to be much easier. And finally, we're getting to the stage of we're creating it. Okay, so what was I creating? Over here, here. Okay, got that there. We're going to need the coolant cells. We're going to need 2 more copper. Stop dropping that. Okay, got that. Wrench, please. 2 copper, and we will need that plate eventually. Obviously, the plate is taking a lot longer than the others because the compressors I don't think have many upgrades. In fact, I don't think the compressor has any upgrades whatsoever or have any source of power at all. I think I just set it up, and in fact, wait, that's the wrong compressor. Not that, not that. Here we go. Okay, we got enough upgrades. There's only 4. We'll need more eventually, though we should work on other things while we're doing that. In fact, I am working on other things. See? And we got our first plate, which we can put here. Import, and we got a fancy thing. Okay, so put these here. Put these here, and we're going to need to get that one more. We're going to need another integrated plate. So let's check what we'll need. We'll need 4 integrated plates because to get that reactor, and we're going to need 4 more advanced alloys. So 4 integrated plates and 4 advanced alloys seems good. Some of those and some of those. Okay, that should be a quick process, though I think I will cut the recording eventually so that we will get the rest of that done and over with, and stop talking way, you're annoying. Okay, that's actually a good thing to know at this early point. This needs a buffer chest, and it's going to need to have other things. So it's good that we determine that now instead of having to embarrass ourselves with future incidents. So we'll need a buffer chest for every integrated reactor thing we put in. Therefore, we'll need a few more satellite pipes. So I guess we're going to have to start digging in an area for our satellite pipes to go into. It might be a little annoying, but well, who cares? Okay, we got a nuclear reactor chamber ready for creation. All we're going to need is 4 more advanced alloys, and we're going to need 2 integrated circuits, and then we're going to be good. So let's make the 4 alloys. We might have enough. And integrated circuits, 2. And therefore we're going to need 1 more piece of circuitry to finish this build, and I am forgetting it right now. Where are my chambers? Enter the chamber of secrets. We're missing 3 lapis. Now the lapis thing is something that we're going to need a lot of anyways. So let's go way over to this thing over here because we're going to need to get so much lapis, it's unbelievable. And judging by the fact that we have more than a stack of Eternalist fuel, I think it's ready to upgrade once more. But first I'm going to get a bit more of the stuff I was trying to get earlier. Okay. Lapis. Let there be lapis. That might not be enough, therefore just a bit more, and that should be good. Lapis, lapis, lapis. Lapis, lapis, lapis. Okay, put it in the dyes again, and the redstone, I'm not sure where I put you, so let's put you in the macerated dust section. I really need to sort this thing out soon. And we're gonna need to have 2 more reactor chambers. I'm not sure where the other stuff is going, so we'll need to make that eventually. But anyways, 2 more reactor chambers, it will be successful, and we already took a lot of the redstone out, so we're going to need to make even more redstone. So let's grab 1 piece of redstone, copy it a bit, and then maybe become sane or something. Nah, that's not likely. Me, sane. Yeah. That's all I have to say. Okay, let's dump this in. There's a lot of stuff that we need to do, therefore, well, inventory tweaks would be lovely right now, actually. So, I think there's 1 more. Thank you. And now we can finally upgrade that last little bit. No, 1 more. We're not really at the last hurdle yet. So, break. And I'm going to need to break you instead because you're going to need to go in. So, plop, plop, and plop. Okay. Got what we need. Got even more energy. And we're almost ready to upgrade to the final stage of this. Now, we only need 2 more relays, and I think these collectors are fine as they are right now, so we're not going to need to worry about that. The other stuff is going to take a bit longer, so I'm just going to wait for it because you guys might be bored by now. If you figured out what is wrong with this, I'm going to give you a bloody medal. I'm going to, though, try to figure it out, and I think I might be right on the money. Now the problem here is, you see, it's not taking the stuff out of the alchemical chests. Therefore, I'm thinking that it cannot function properly when it's using an alchemical chest. These things, the integrated heat dispersers, I manually created and just dragging and dropping from this chest, and therefore, judging by the fact that the items went in the chest, though it's not crafting from the chest, I think there is some major issue. Or I'm just being a complete idiot and I should therefore die. Anyways, I got another MFSU because we are running low on that, so I'm just gonna make this into a better model of happiness. Create. Hopefully don't lose all of my items by doing this. I'm probably going to anyways because that is how I roll. Okay, so my theory was correct. It just hates me. Speaking of hating me, it seems to want to cause me miserable pain in the fact that I cannot pick everything up. Okay. Thank you very much. There we go. Reactor chamber. Now that is at least one good bit of news that I have now figured out how the hell it works. So I'm just gonna get this, I think it is this, and what is it? Generator. We're gonna need a generator, and no, I am not going to put this as a blueprint because honestly, it takes too long to create this, so yeah, anyways, I'll worry about that later. And also the fact that, well, these can all stack, so it doesn't have to worry. So now in my planning stages, I'm going to have to worry about the fact that I cannot put 3 chests together. Also, things that I realized is that I'm going to have to send all of the uninsulated copper wires to a chest. The reason for this is because when I order something like an MFSU, it takes so much spillage. There's so much spillage afterwards that it's impossible. Okay, MFSU requires more than 64 rubber wires. What happens when you try to put more than 64 wires into a thing that only takes stacks? Well, you guessed it. Nothing much. So, I guess I'm going to have to put another logistics pipe here. A crafting one. It's a little crafty, I might add. Bring this down because it is a wall of I don't really care. Gonna need to assign this a random number 12. Go back here, get another chest. I should really have a stack of chests because it would become a lot better for me. Chests. Okay, chest. Thank you. And we can take this, put this here. This is going to be satellite number 12 that everything will be sent to. That will be taken out. And finally, little hole in the wall, literally. We can place this chest down and it should work. We'll see how that goes. Now, one moment. Haha. Okay, we're probably going to need some tin things. Tin things. Very sentimental of you, Wei. Yeah, let's go with 4 empty cells because I want to test something. Now, I'm not entirely sure how the nuclear generation goes. I've never dabbled in generating EU by this method. Therefore, I will probably blow things up catastrophically if I leave this unintended. Attended, not intended. So, I'm going to right now get a wrench because it is probably the safest thing for me to do just in case I royally screw things up. Are you in here? Or am I just so stupid that I do not see you? Probably the latter. Okay. There. Let's place down the MFSU because we don't really have anything else to do right now. Cable. No cable. Oh well, let's just charge this up. So this MFSU will go right here to continually charge up since we don't have much in the... Well, we got a lot of energy anyways. So we'll just charge that up and get all the excess EU that's stored in there, but we might as well have another source of EU. Since lava is kind of finite, but this stuff isn't. Now, I'm not sure how to put this in. I will need that. And just by the way, yes, it is 6 dang diamonds for this. Okay, uranium cell. How do I make... I need to refine uranium. And refined uranium. I need to find a way to get refined uranium. Compressor? Yes, compressor. So compress this uranium and it turns into refined uranium, which is a little refined. And then I add it to an empty cell and get a uranium cell. Wow, I is smart. Probably a way to automate this, though I am definitely not in the automation stage. Uranium block does look interesting, though, yet again, I am not in that stage. Now, I'm probably going to need to do quite a bit of research on how to properly handle uranium cells. For instance, placing down like that, make sure I can get it. Good. Let's place it down. And when I place this uranium cell in, it should give energy. Now, I am not sure whatsoever on the physics of this, therefore I am not going to attempt to use this at this time. I'm going to have to read this up. I know I hardly ever read anything up on the mods that I use, though this, I think you can forgive me, it's a little dangerous, and therefore I should treat it with a bit more respect than I do with this thing. See? No respect whatsoever. Nor does it give me any respect, though I have yet to really hope for any. This is kind of also good to, power some more devices. For instance, I can make a mass fab, though the UU matter, I don't think there is any, real thing I can make with it other than the iridium plates to make more armor. And in fact, this probably needs a bit of repairing. So I'll just repair those goggles and then go up to the surface and see what other things that I can do. Okay, there is still a lot of matter that I can do. Okay, I need to close an application. Much better. Okay, there is a bunch of matter that I can still take from this, though I'm still not at a high enough level for this to be equitable. I could make some other devices, though I am saving some of those builds for a better day, since there is a lot of things that, I haven't really seen before, like self-generated. No, I'm not going to say it because that will spoil the mood. I am saving those things for a rainy day. No, I will not tell you because that is cheating. Ooh, I didn't know I had this still here. So that's even more EU, or EMC, or a lot of things. But what's probably a good idea is to get some location that is very far away, or what is it? Dark matter blocks are very strong, aren't they? So I know that when you use these, nuclear reactors, and they explode, it could be quite explosive. Therefore, I should generate some sort of room that will make sure that the damage when they explode is minimal. Guys, are you thinking what I am thinking? Because I am thinking something very diabolical indeed. I think this would be probably the perfect place to put a nuclear reactor. It's a huge pit. If something explodes, what could possibly really ruin it? There's nothing for it to destroy down here, except the quarry, which I would definitely move out of the way when I am using it. Though, well, there's not really anything for it to destroy. So, what if it explodes? If it explodes, what will happen? Congratulations, Wei, you have a big hole. What did you have before? A big hole. So, I think this would probably be the best place to put it. That said, I do not know if the blast radius is bigger than, what is this, like 80 depth from there to there? So, yeah, that's not too much of a problem, actually. Just doing those alterations will make it preferable. So I have a lot of things to think about, that's for sure. I'm going to have to research how explosive the industrial craft thing is. And what I'm going to do is see how dark matter blocks help it. Because I'll initially put it down there, but eventually I want to be able to, maintain it very easily. Is that spazzing out? Okay, I thought it was spazzing out. That was bad. It's like, oh dear. And why is it always raining? Anyways, I'm going to check online to see possible ways to use the thing well. Probably could think of a clock to make sure that the EMC is generated quite well. And I am probably just saying a bunch of things repeatedly, so I think we're going to end it here because, I'll start saying again. Well, that's all the time for this episode of EEPower. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. Wave time here, putting on my goggles of awesomeness, and also signing off. Have a wonderful day. Yeah, kinda messed up on that last part. So what?